Hello, Cobb HC 2015. You're the first here. Hello, how you doing? I have toys. I've been and collected a box full of things. Better than I was yesterday, that's for certain. Still not 100%, but today's stream is brought to you courtesy of Beecham's Max Strength. Not sponsored, just if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be here streaming now. Rough, rough, rough. Barking like a dog, as they say. And I'll try and mute you when I do. So yes, I went and collected a box full of things. And I will say that it is entirely because of you guys that I went and collected this. It would be nice if I could get them for free on sponsorship, but no, I have to go and pay for my own Beecham's, I'm afraid. Right. I'm desperate to open this, but I'm going to hold off for a few minutes and just sit here chatting, waiting for a few more latecomers to turn up before I cut the top off this. It's not a big box, and it's not Electrolux vacuum systems. I can't wait any longer. I can't wait any longer. I have to open it. What's in the box? I can't remember everything that's in the box, but I can remember some things that are in the box. They're fun things. All cardboard, that's what's in the box. No, it's not. Oh, I certainly hope it's not a white mounting bracket. It's well packaged. Oh. Keep the tension going as long as I can. Turn this around so we can get a shot on it. Slow reveal for you. Ha ha! Toys! All sorts of toys. Let's start off in this corner. Ah. This is a British Telecom caller ID display. Completely useless now because we don't have a landline anymore as such, or fibre optic, but an interesting little bonus thing to play with. It might fit in with my planned home-built telephone system that I'm playing with the idea of. Or I might just tear it apart and see exactly what's in it. It'll just be a single chip probably. 16:2 display, I suspect. That's a little fun thing to play with. What else have we got? I'm desperately trying to save the best till last without revealing it. That is just a power supply. Zoom back out again. There's a Vodafone USB Still got its SIM card in there. USB internet dongle thingy. Probably won't work now because that'll be a 3G, I think. But I think I've got a white equivalent one of these in the drawer here. HSPA Plus, yeah, high speed packet access. That's what sort of came between 3 and 4G, and they're mostly turning off their 3G now. What else have we got hiding in here? Oh, here's a little universal 12-volt power supply for laptops. Could be useful for running your laptop in the car. What's this here? This looks like just a little Sony Ericsson phone holder, I think. Here we go. This is a slightly grubby Freecom DVB television antenna adapter USB. I suspect it's probably an RTL SDR. I've already got an RTL SDR in the cupboard, but this one is quite handy that it has the adapter for a standard aerial connector, which my existing one doesn't. So I may well be able to use this for streaming things that only have an RF output, which would be very useful. Had fun playing with that. Even got software for it, which won't work on Linux, of course. I'll keep all that together. Now I'm running out of things without showing what's the main thing in here. This is... yes. This is a little mobile Wi-Fi adapter, 3Com. Again, it'll be 3G, 54 megabits per second, 11G, 802.11G. The 3CRTRV10075. Probably end up pulling that apart to see what's inside it. Some little ARM chip. Could be useful. Or fun anyway. And that, I think, just leaves this. And this is what I went for specifically. And here is oops, pressed that too far. It's your fault that I got it. I was told I had to go and get it. So get it I did. The Palm 5. It's a bit battered from age. I don't know if it's working or anything. It has the stylus though, which is good. It even has a spare stylus, a little fine stylus. I used to have a Palm years and years and years and years and years ago. So it's quite nostalgic for me to come back to it. And I have the cradle with it. I have a second cradle with it. I have all the books and manuals for it, and even the software, which is brilliant. But also, it came with this, which I thought was very intriguing. Portable palm keyboard. Which looks rather strange. Feels very much like an ordinary laptop keyboard. But by the looks of things, it has built-in cradle here. So the palm clips into it somehow, which is intriguing. I wonder if there's any power in this. Probably not. No, nothing's happening on that. So that's going to need charging up, unless it takes batteries, so I don't think it takes batteries. But I thought this was a very intriguing thing. I've never seen one of these before. A fold-up keyboard, especially for the palm. It is truly strange. Not sure what goes on with this here. We've got Carrot House. You've got one of these, have you? How on earth do you use it? I can see a sort of strange clip thing here. It opens up in some way. Oh, hello. That. Well, that's a stand there for the arm. Frustratingly, is it that bad, is it? Ah, there we go. And the palm clips into there. Let's see if I can get a slightly different angle on this. Now, it's been such a long time since I've used Palm that I can't remember whether it's... Oh, hang on. Is this... Ooh, this isn't a cradle here. This is not a cradle. I've just noticed. Come on, focus. This is the Palm modem. I could get onto the internet with this. Cool. Where's my brightness? There we go. So I've got the full set here. Then I've got the modem, I've got the Palm, I've got the keyboard, and I've got the cradle. Now, charging this up, I think, has to be done through the cradle to a computer. Although there isn't any power on a serial port, so is there a battery inside? I can't remember. It's been such a long time. I can't remember if there's batteries in it or not. Maybe the getting started manual will tell me. Let's do the unthinkable and read the manual. Can't see a thing. Charge your Palm connected organizer. Before you use your new Palm V organizer, you need to connect to the cables and charge it for approximately 4 hours. It's going to be a long stream. Afterwards, charging just minutes a day keeps your organizer powered. Ah, that's what I'm missing. That's what I needed to know. If I can get some brightness, there's a socket there in the back of the plug. And it looks like a very much custom power cable. Ooh. That's a new one. I've not seen that before. Oh, that's a tip. That's my first ever tip. ComHC, thank you for the tip. That's a special power cable, that. And I wonder... I have it. That was this mystery power cable that was in the box. This rather strange connector that I've never seen before. Well, I will have seen before because I've had one, but see if I can get a decent view on here of it. Is the strangest power connector I have ever seen. Five tiny little holes and a big chunky key. Ah, hello Urban Monkey. Yes, this is the power cable which plugs into the back of this 9-pin connector, which goes into this cradle, which takes this palm. It's been a while since I've used a palm, so I'm going to have to try and get some charge going in this, if it will. It may never take a charge. Let's get some power in that. Okay. So we can see the screen there. Let's plug the power cable into the back of the 9-pin. Haha, we have bootage. Welcome. The following screens will walk you through setup, which takes just a few minutes. Remove the stylus, already done. If I can get this so that it's visible. Can I get a bit more exposure on this? There we go. Right, I'm going to have to sit at a strange angle to see it now. Just the contrast. Contrast is fine as it is, I think. Done. In the following screen, you will be asked to tap the centre of the target as shown below. This ensures accurate stylus entry. Use the stylus to tap anywhere. Use the stylus to tap here, then here, and then here. Okay, country, United Kingdom. Anybody going to redeem set time, set clock? Okay, so what time are we at now? We're at 7:23, aren't we? 1923. And a modem module. Your palm 3 and actually, you'd help myself to people's phone lines randomly. Nice. Soon I'll be able to do clock redeems and things like that. How's me target? I'm 35 out of 50 at the moment on my my up to the top there. 35 out of 50 followers, and then it should turn me into an affiliate, and I'll be able to do fancy things. Yes, I know. I wish I could follow myself as well, but that's just creepy. Okay, the date, and we are in October, and it's 2000 compatible. That's good. We're in 2023, and it is the 20. Is it really the 20th already? Where's this month gone? 2010-23. Could do. Or I could just set up a few other accounts, I suppose. Infinite email addresses on my my domains, so. But that's cheating, and you've got to keep it up as well. Okay, setup complete. Done. Address, calc, datebook, expense, graffiti, hot sync, mail, memo pad, prefs, security. Security. Ooh. To-do list, and welcome. Welcome. I think that's what we've just done. Yeah, so that just reruns the setup again. Now I have to try and remember all this graffiti stuff. I used to know this off by heart, but I can't remember a thing about this whole graffiti thing anymore. So A, B, C, D, E, F. The only strange one so far. G, H. Do a H? No, that didn't do a H. Backspace. H, I, J. K is a strange one. Like an alpha. Did I get Q right? I think I got Q right then. R, S, T, U, V. No, that was a Y. B, W, X. No, it didn't like Y. There's Y. And Z. I remember graffiti now. Well, that is apart from X. All of them are just one single stroke, except for X. Because X is down, followed by one in the other direction. It's actually done with 2 strokes, X. If we zoom in on the instructions for X, you notice it's got this little extra arrow here. But all the others are all single stroke. Well, the way they did K kind of messes up doing X in a single stroke way. I'm sure they could have done K in a better way, which would have freed up that shape to do X. I wonder how much charge this battery will store. I wonder what security is. Ah, that's for power on password. I'll get out of this home. So we've got... Yeah, I've got my box of batteries over next to me here, just in case I needed to grab a pile of batteries to put in it. But no, it's all chargeable, all rechargeable. I'm just going to unplug it and see if it holds a charge. We've got any kind of charge at all at the moment. I'm suspecting probably not. Has it saved anything? Or is it all reset again? It's all reset. So I'm assuming that the battery... Oh, it's kept the date and the time, but it's lost the location. So it sort of kept some of it. So maybe if I leave it charging for hour upon hour, it might eventually charge enough to hold some settings, but even then probably only run for a matter of seconds before it dies. So it might be a case of dismantling it and looking at replacing the battery in some way, possibly. I don't know how feasible that is on these. Whether it's possible to get replacement batteries for them, or whether it's a hen's teeth job. Maybe I should take a look at... There's no way of getting power into the keyboard, so it needs to have a working battery to use the keyboard, by the looks of things. So I can't use the keyboard unless I can get some charge to stay in it. But what I could do is try setting up the software and see if I can get it to communicate with a PC. That'd be a fun thing to attempt. So I'm going to need to set up a computer that is of the right era, which I think means Windows XP. I think this one. Oh, I think this one here is Windows XP. And it appears to have a single serial port as well, which is useful. Oh, excuse me, popping away here. Just have a cough sweet. This computer, if I remember rightly, is an Athlon XP 64, I think, possibly. Next up, I'm going to need keyboard. And where's my mouse gone? There it is. Now up. Oh no, I can't plug that video straight into there because I've got a video card in here, haven't I? Use the onboard. So I need to adapt the DVI. It's a fancy card on this one. Got a DVI connection. We get bootage. Oh, oh, it's not booting. I have a light. Working last time I tried it. Oh, an A750. I really, really, really hope that Intel do get their act together and create a decent video card that is a good alternative to Nvidia or AMD, because those two have cornered the market so much that it's become horrible, basically. And it really, really needs somebody to shake the market up. Not just the Linux drivers, the Windows ones are too. Why is this not booting when I press the power button? Because it needs recapping. That capacitor has gone Nice. Oh, I just had a beep. Oh, that's... The palm went beep. I think this motherboard has died. Which is a shame. It's an AS Rock as well, which is usually a good reliable motherboard. Have I done a... No, I haven't done a recap on this board yet, have I? That capacitor there is very definitely unhappy. Come on, focus, focus, focus. That one, just that. Got a nice bulge to the top. So I'm going to have to recap this motherboard, but not today. Yeah, I'm pretty much stuck with NVIDIA on my graphics cards. Although the situation is getting better. Because DaVinci has been very much NVIDIA only. Although now they are branching out, certainly on Windows. On Linux, it's been very much NVIDIA only. Right, I'm going to have to go delving down into this cupboard under the desk. Try and wrestle out. Oh. Another anonymous black box. Another AMD one. This one is just an AMD XP, I think, not a 64. Now this motherboard I have given some attention to. I've replaced this fan on it here with a fan off a GPU actually, because that had completely and utterly caked up and gone horrible. This one also has a serial port, so that's good. So I shall attempt this one, see if this works. Yeah, none of my graphics cards are particularly impressive. I have GTX 970, which I'm using right now for this streaming. That's my main graphics card. I've got a 1050 Ti in my main workstation, and courtesy of David Phantom, a P620, which I've got in my NAS for a bit of video encoding and AI stuff. That's the limit of my GPU power. Yeah, mostly it's compute loads that I have on my GPUs, or streaming video or compute, with a bit of gaming on my one main GPU, but it's mostly sort of rendering and video work that mine is used in. Okay, is this going to power up? This looks more healthy. Right, we're into XP, except it's completely the wrong resolution. Ooh. 720 by 480? What kind of resolution is that? Let's have a look. The Extron set to 480, that's why. Let's go for 800 by 600. Let's see what it thinks of that. This is still saying it's 480. Go a line. There we go, we can see things now. Should be able to get 800 by 600 out of this, but it might need a reboot. Let's just try disconnecting the screen. It's decided it's stuck in this resolution. Let's now cycle it. Have the Extron setup ready for working with DOS rather than Windows, so it's in completely the wrong resolution. Still looking pretty low resolution and fuzzy with it. Ah, there we go. That's 8 by 6 now. That's better. Can see what we're doing now. Right. The original Palm software. The VX handheld. Palm desktop software version 3.1 for Windows. I'm wondering if this should be archived. Probably already is. Okay. In goes the CD. Arm. Plugged in. I think it's probably worth archiving it anyway, just in case. one available. Yeah. I'm sure somebody has ported Doom to it. More than likely. Product registration. No, thank you. That'll do. Wants the serial number of my palm. Serial number of my palm has worn off and is not readable. But there is a barcode. Which might be readable. So I'll try with my barcode reader. It's so faint, I don't think it's going to work. Get it somewhere visible. There is a barcode there somewhere, and there might be a number. I might have to resort to using my phone to read that barcode, actually. It would be useful if I can just click cancel and it doesn't cancel the entire installation. Are you sure you don't want to exit registration? That's oh good. That's all right then. Synchronize with. Ooh. Have I even got any of these on here? 'Got Outlook Express on here. Synchronize with Outlook Express. Right, just got to quickly go through the whole setup of the palm again. It's lost the time, but it's kept the date. And we are on 1953. Right, now, apparently installed. Oops, didn't want that, that's SQL Explorer. Palm desktop. I cannot for the life of me remember how to use this. Let's get rid of that bit in the corner there, in case there's something hiding there. Nope. Category name. No idea. Test. Nope. Test is not linked to... I don't know what I'm doing here. I like that. Speed as fast as possible. Okay. There's a test memo that I've created. Now, how do I synchronize on this? Hot sync. Connected. See. Do the hot sync from the palm itself. Synchronization. Generated one or more messages. Or saying okay. So now, do I have memo pad? Test memo. That's synced. That's synced. But of course, it won't keep it, will it? Because the battery is dead. So now begs the question. I go over here. Is there a version of Doom for the Palm? Unlikely. Doesn't look like it. Does not look like it at all. Let's zoom in a bit so we can see what we're doing. I'm sure somebody must have done it. No. Nothing appearing on DuckDuckGo anyway. He wants to tell me about a tree. Excuse me. Right. What games are there for the Palm B? Question is, what OS is it running then? 3, 3.5 or 4? I do not know. I think there would be an about option, wouldn't you? But I don't see one. Nothing in the welcome. Any clues how I can see which version of the Palm operating system I've got installed on here? Or is it just so obvious that it's not something they'd normally list? Nothing in the getting started guide. The main handbook. Oh, I can get the software on 3.5-inch floppies apparently. I don't see anything yet in the main handbook to say what version it is. Hmm. Plenty of games available anyway. Let's have a search on here for Doom. See if there's anything relating to Doom. Doom Z, a source port of Doom for Palm OS. There is a version of Doom for Palm OS. Requires an external SD card. I'm not sure there is a slot for an SD card on here, is there? don't see any external slots on it at all. So I'm guessing no, it won't work on here. That's a shame. So I'm assuming then that, oh, it says device all. So it should work on here apparently, but needs OS 5 or 5.4, which I'm pretty certain I won't have. VX OS version. Let's ask Google. The Palm VX was a personal digital assistant made by the Palm computing division of 3Com. It benefited from the sleek design and low weight of its predecessor, the Palm V, while increasing the available storage to 8 megabytes. 8 whole megabytes. It was one of the lightest models ever offered by Palm. Retail price at launch was $399 US. The VX is powered by a Motorola Dragon Ball EZ processor operating at 20 megahertz. It was originally equipped with Palm OS 3.3, but later models came with Palm OS 3.5. An upgrade to Palm OS 4.1 was formerly offered for sale on the Palm website, but is no longer available. The device has a built-in rechargeable battery, not replaceable unless the unit is disassembled, and a button on top of the screen that permitted access to a contrast menu. It also includes an illumination feature, which causes the screen to be backlit by a green glow. Apparently they released a Claudia Schiffer edition of this thing. Okay. Featured a blue brushed metal finish and came pre-loaded with the Health Tech diet, exercise and weight management software package, and abroad a travel organization program. Whoa. So it looks like it's going to either be 3.1 or 3.5, I would think, this. And I would have to dismantle it to replace the battery. Batteries are available. And there's an iFixit guide for replacing it as well. Right. I may have to invest in a new battery for this little baby. It is a very sweet device. And it does bring back memories for me. But until I get a battery for it, I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything much with it. Because the moment I remove it from the cradle, it dies. Let's move things across here a bit. See if I can get some better views of it. Where's my aperture button gone on this camera? That's as wide as it goes. That's what it looks like on here when it sinks, or when it attempts to sink. Is it sinking? Trying to. It doesn't sink until I acknowledge that it's sank. But yeah, the moment I go like that and like that, it's lost everything. As it's still got that note that I put in there. Oops, just unplugged. Memo pad. Well, that test memo has remained despite losing power, so it might save some settings, just not be able to work. Or it might just be because it was only briefly off. I might have to leave it charging overnight and see what happens, see if I get any charge at all in it. If not, it's going to have to be a battery replacement. Let's have a look on iFixit, see how hard that would be. There we go. How to replace the battery? You need a heat gun, and a spudger. Warm it up. Pry it apart. Lots of heat. Take the front bezel off, remove the screen. As bad as working on a mobile phone, isn't it? And there's the battery. That doesn't look like a fun job to me. Is it worth it? Worth the amount of effort it's going to take to replace the battery? I'm thinking probably not, to be honest with you. Batteries look like they are anywhere from about 12 to 20 pounds. Oops, there goes my barcode reader. Yes, okay, Amazon, go away. And there's one there on Amazon for $14.10, so they're not horrendous money. But it does look like it would be quite a painful job doing the replacement. No, I don't fancy drilling through the case. It would be doable, but it would ruin the case. Having a hole stuck in the back of it with wires dangling out of it, no, not really going to happen. Got to stay virgin, if you will. I'm going to do it. I'll be doing it properly. So. An option's only janky if it doesn't do what you want it to do. If it does what you want it to do, it's the right option. But it looks like the whole case is basically glued together, which is not a pretty option. And the battery might wake itself up a bit with a few sort of charge attempts. I think if it was going to do anything, it would have done it by now, because the battery, I think, is so dead that it's beyond holding a charge. It's unlikely it's going to leak. If it does leak, it would leak inside the plastic casing of the battery. But I don't think it would actually do any physical damage in that way to it. It's a single cell battery, so it's not going to be a reverse charged cell within it like you get with multiple series cells. So it might resurrect a bit with repeated charge discharge, but it is lithium ion, so it could go nuclear, yes. There's nothing quite as fun as turning on God mode in Fallout 4, getting the mini nuke and just letting rip and just filling a room with nuke. It's so satisfying doing something like that. Not that I would do such a thing, of course. That's cheating. It's great stress reliever, though. So yeah, I'm in two minds whether it's worth it or not. I'll let it charge tonight. See what it does tomorrow in the way of holding any form of a charge. And then I might investigate dismantling it, see what it's looking like. Yeah, I don't know. I've never actually tried survival mode, but I have completed it on ordinary multiple times. And I always try my hardest not to do any form of cheating until I've reached that sort of completion point where you've either taken out or taken over with the institute. But it's the kind of game you just can't help but go back to time and time again. Ooh, I'm not sure I could cope without fast travel. Fast travel is kind of essential for my playing style. I've been playing Skyrim a lot past few days, and it's so much nicer having fast travel in that compared to Morrowind. The thing I didn't like so much with Morrowind was, yeah, you can travel from place to place on the Stilt Striders, but it costs money and only to specific places. And all the rest of the time, you're just running, or shall I say, jumping everywhere to try and get places. It's so much better with fast travel in Skyrim. So no, I don't think I could do without fast travel in Fallout 4. Food side of things, meh. It adds a bit of realism, I suppose, but yeah, I think I'll avoid the survival mode just for the fast travel. I think I'm done with the XP machine now. Any wires. What have I done with the thumb screws for this computer? I can't remember. Oh, there they are. I haven't. I might take a look at the other motherboard actually, in the other computer. I've got plenty of screen time left, and I've looked at the things that I wanted to look at. So I might take a look at that motherboard and see about taking out that capacitor. Ah, yes, I remember this case. It's got this stupid thing on the back here for the holding the cards in. It's like a bracket thing that goes over the cards, but then has to be screwed in anyway, so it's completely and utterly pointless. One good high-powered NVIDIA card there. Where's my cutters? Okay. Yep, I don't know who designed it, but I think they took some industrial design and put it into a desktop case and didn't do it right, and it's just a stupid idea. Come on, screw. It could be, or just some Chinese sweatshop that's churning out junk that doesn't really have a clue what they're doing. that all the screws? Yep. And we're out. Okay. Oh, hang on. I pressed the wrong button there. Turn around. There. Front. No, back. Don't want to see me. Yuck. There we go. There's that nice capacitor. I think that's the only one in here that's bulged. The others look pretty flat. And this one is a 16-volt, 1000 microfarad. I have no idea who it's by. It's brown though, not that you can really tell on this camera. Oh, it's alright. I know what work calls can be like sometimes. They always come at the worst possible time. Focus on the right part. I might actually have a replacement for that in stock. These are very close. I've got 1200 16 volt. Which is within a margin of error. 1000. I don't think I've got exactly 1000, have I? I've got 1000 in 6.3 volt. I think 1200 would do. This is true, Urban Monkey. But with capacitors, the natural margin of error on a capacitor's value is quite high. So 1200 and 1000 is probably not that different. me just grab one of these and my little component tester. Okay. Cram this into here. And you can't see it because of the polarizer. Quite a high one actually, 1308 for this 1200. But I don't think that's really going to make the slightest bit of difference on these capacitors, because they're really only the filtering capacitors for the switching power supplies on it. So actually slightly higher would be better, I think. Right, let's take the processor off this. If it will. There we go. We'll pop out the RAM, which literally does pop out. Right. I may as well do both of these at once. I think they're both the same capacity. Hard to see at the moment. Yeah, they're both the same. Right. Let's get my soldering iron going. And see if I can find my soldering supplies. Got solder. Got solder wick. We've got flux. And we've got low temperature paste. And we've got a horrible solder sucker. Okay. Takes a while for my soldering iron to warm up. We're on these two here. I might bring you around the back actually for this. Yes, I would love a decent desoldering iron, but I would love any desoldering iron. Instead I have a janky old sucker from RS. I think it was an RS one. Or is it? No, that's not the RS one. I do have an RS one somewhere. There's another one the same as that. There it is. That one, I think, yeah. An actual RS solder sucker from the ARC, that one. No suction whatsoever on that one. A little bit on that one. And a tiny amount on that one. Hopefully enough to get the job done. They're all utter rubbish, these things. I hate them. I tend to use Wick more than anything. Okay. It's down here. It's there. Up a little. We're working on these two here, I believe. A good dollop of flux on. RS radio. No, it's radio spares is RS. It was just now just RS. So it was radio spares originally. Used to get a catalogue from radio spares. It was about that thick, like a phone book, with all the components, all the connectors, all the cables, everything in it. Back before we had websites. I used to spend hours just gazing through these massive catalogues. Okay. I like to use the heat and rock method of capacitor extraction. Heat up one pin, rock the capacitor over to one side, and then move to the next pin and repeat. There we go. So need to remember that's the negative side on here going up to this edge of the board. This one's not wanting to play ball. There we go. Come on. I've not actually got the right glasses on for doing this. I can't really see what I'm doing. There we go. Oh, look at that, nice and puffy at the bottom there, where it's all bulging out. Let me change my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. I've reached that time in my life where I can't see without assistance. Of course, this now means I can't see chat. Actually, I could bring my phone in and look at chat on there, couldn't I? Where are we? Twitch, don't I? I've managed to avoid it up until now. But I've reached the age now where it is necessary. Pick my camera up again. It comes to all of us, but it can be a curse having to have it all your life. Right, I want to add some low temperature paste to these joints now, just to help it all flow a bit better. And mix all that in. What have I done with, there it is, my alcohol. Give it a squirt of alcohol and scrub. Then more flux. Never have too much flux. And Shelby's nemesis, solder wick, which I love. Much prefer it to solder suckers, but I haven't got a good solder sucker. If I had a Metcal solder sucker like Shelby's, I would hate wick too by comparison. But once you know what you're doing with wick, it's pretty easy to work with, and you can get some good results fairly easily with it. Didn't quite clear that out then. Let's break the end off. I've got a hole on that one, okay. That one's clear. That one's clear. That one isn't. So I need to clear that one out. More flux. And it's going to be one of those that doesn't want to clear out, so I shall use my other trick of stick a hot leg in it. There we go. That's now clear. All 4 holes are clear without needing a solder sucker at all. Right, so negative was towards the edge of the board. So these markings have the white marking as positive, not negative, which is something I've found quite often with motherboards, is the markings are the opposite to how you would expect them to be. Which is why it's always good to check. Okay, one in. Just straightening out the legs a bit because I've got this kink here, which doesn't work with this board very well. So just straightening them out a bit so it gets easier. There we go. Number 2 in place. Right. Time to solder. This pin's going onto the ground plane, so it's not wanting to flow very well. Okay. I shall revisit those negative ones once I've trimmed them. In fact, I shall revisit all of them once it's trimmed. Looking good. Bit wonky, that one. I might just apply a bit of heat again on there just to straighten this one up. Fraction. Pride in my work. Better. Right, I don't know if that's going to fix it or not. It might. It might not. Only one way to find out. Okay. Let's put this wonderful chip in. Love these chips. So many pins. And it goes in that way. Now, don't complain that I'm not replacing the heatsink compound here. It's pretty fresh compound on here already because it's not that long since I replaced it originally. What's going on with this? I have no idea. Oh, there we go. Go, memory's back in. And video card. And something to stand it on. There we go. Now, power supply. A working one here, possibly. Got enough pins? Probably not. Well, might have. Get that the right way around. Okay, and some power. on. That's connected. That's on. Now all I need is be able to read this writing on here. That's looking a lot better than it was before. Now I need a video. What have I done with the adapter for it now? What have I done with the adapter for it? I don't know. Oh well, we've got a AGP. I have lost my DVI adapter. Oh, there it is. I found it. I found it. It's not just Shelby that loses things. We all do. Right. Do we get lift off? Nothing showing yet. I wonder if it's using the internal video. Though I'm not sure it actually has internal video, does it? Oh, there it is. It's on the internal video. No wonder I couldn't see anything. Free flash and no boot device. I think that's going to work. That was a quick, easy fix. Let's put it back in its original case now and see what happens. I do like wins like that. When it's just a simple capacitor swap and it fixes it all. Except, watch now, I'll plug all this back in and it won't work again because the power supply's dead. Screwdriver. Right. Let's just try this as it is. Already that seems good. Just remembered the on state from before, obviously. Okay. Sort out all the wires now. Okay, the fun part, getting these on. We have reset at that end. We have power LED at this end. HDD LED there. Power switch there. And speaker over here. Serial port goes there. Keyboard, mouse. Video. And power. And it's lost its CMOS settings. Not surprised. Hey, President. You've just joined us as I've finished fixing an Athlon XP64. And it's this horrible Phoenix BIOS with stupid controls, isn't it? Plus minus 2101. I'll forgive you. Just this once, just don't make a habit of it. That's today, isn't it? Yes, I had a sudden burst of followers, which reminds me, I need to say a big, big thank you to Ryko Music, who gave a shout out earlier on today for me, which was very nice of them. Yes, we are getting closer. We need another 15, that's all. Okay, is this going to boot? I hope so. There we go. A welcome site. I can turn my soldering iron off now. Just been recovering this computer from the good old problem of, I can keep my camera still enough to focus, of good old bulging leaky capacitors. Now up and running again. I did have this NVIDIA card in there originally. It's not in there at the moment. It's booting off the internal video. I put this in originally to play one specific game on this computer, Operation Flashpoint. I'd like to get it going on this card again if I can. Operation Flashpoint is one of the best games ever. They spoiled it with Dragon Rising, the version 2 of it. It's nowhere near as good as the original. My camera's gone all floppy. On a moment. Bit better. And screw in this stupid backplate thing. Right. Did I make it into the BIOS? No, I didn't. Reset switch isn't working. Put on the wrong pins. Come on, get onto the pins. Okay, let's try and get into the BIOS on this. There we go. Primary graphics PCI Express. So now we should be able to switch over to that graphics card. Nope. Do a hard reset. Still nothing showing. Might show in Windows though. Nope. Nothing showing. Did I save it or not? I did. Okay, why is it not letting me use this video card? Wake up, camera. Try it on PCI. Maybe it just doesn't like using the DVI to VGA adapter on it. Oh, I would have thought it would. Let's add another monitor to just the internal onboard VGA so I can see anything happening on that. Yes, it is. It's still doing the internal. You're back-ish. Welcome back-ish. Give me the... Well, I've just been fixing this Athlon XP machine. And I'm trying to get this graphics card here working, and it's refusing to acknowledge that it's there. So I've got onboard graphics plugged in, I've got the NVIDIA card plugged in. You should be seeing the NVIDIA card on the capture, but I'm seeing the actual video from the onboard on another monitor up top here. It's refusing, regardless of what settings I have in the BIOS, to acknowledge that it exists. I'm just quickly looking. See what hardware it thinks it's got. And we have device manager. It can see the 6150 NForce 430, but it says there's a problem. It cannot start code 10. So there is something wrong with that. What is code 10? Have I set to factory defaults? I think it did set itself to factory defaults while I was working on it. This card has been working in this machine. I'm going to swap these cables over just in case it's the Extron that it doesn't like. So you can see what I see now there. Reboot. PCI Express graphics card. So I thought setting it to PCI Express for the primary graphics would work. But it's telling me in Windows there's an error with it. Of course, it may be that the graphics card has died. I think that's to do with the onboard graphics and how much memory is allocated to that. Let's take this out. I mean, this is a card which I have sort of semi-resurrected by rebuilding the whole cooler on it. But it was working beautifully last time I was using it, but then so was the rest of the computer, and that had died. So, right, I'm going to get another graphics card. No, it's not your fault, Carrot House. It's Urban Monkey's fault. Right, what graphics card should we put in this? MDA? No, I don't think so. A very, very rubbish AMD card. AMD Radeon something or other, I can't remember what. WinFast. I could take the WinFast. Oh, that's AGP. I can't use that one. So we got, what is that one. That's one which, again, I've resurrected because it got effectively set fire to. But I had it working, this one. I think I'll try this one. This one is so burnt on the back here from too much heat. That it looks like it's been set fire to. I can't remember offhand what it is. I do wish that people would label their graphics cards. I had worked out what it was at some point. I stuck a label on it. Let's just bring up my asset database. Eventually, come on Google, faster. I use AppSheet, which is a product by Google which interfaces with Google Sheets to create a web-based and Android app-based database, basically. It's an ATI Radeon X1300. That's what this is. So let's see if I can get this working. Still taking the internal. I would have thought if it was going to take it, it would have taken it straight away. So let's hit reset. Yeah, set share memory size of the onboard VGA. And I'll just set that down to 16 megs. I don't need any of that. Try setting it to PCI instead of PCI Express. Yeah, I mean, there's always been the option to disable onboard normally if you have an extra card added. No, it doesn't like that either. This is the ASRock something or other. I can't see it. Because underneath the graphics card, it's the A-Live NF6G-VSTA. So it does. A-Live NF6G VSTA. BIOS P2.10. I do have one other crazy option. Trident 19440 PCI card. Maybe it just doesn't like the PCIe on here at the moment. Well, what do you know? That works. As I say, this the NVIDIA one I've had working in here. And it is quite an old NVIDIA as well. I'm just wondering if it's because I'm plugging into the DVI through a VGA adapter. I'm going to try this old Radeon. It might be thinking that it's not got a monitor connected, so it's not activating the card. Well, that worked. That's come up on my screen up here. Okay. Out of interest, I'm going to try the original NVIDIA again. Nope, that's not worked. That's coming out on the onboard. It does not like this NVIDIA. Auto will disable onboard VGA desub function when the add-on VGA card is inserted to the motherboard. But it was on auto originally. I've got it set to 64, I think, or 32, whatever now. But I can change it back to auto again. Nope, that's coming out on the internal still. I popped this old ATI one in, which is a read it. There we go. This is a HD 6450. And with this set to auto, coming out up the top again. So it likes this card. I shall switch the cables over. So that you can see. That's coming off the ATI card. There must be something has died in this or something, perhaps. Because once it was in Windows, it was saying it could see it, but there was a problem with it. Now it doesn't have the drivers, of course. So it's working in VGA mode. That board is working. I haven't got any other PCIe ones available, unfortunately. Unless I steal one out of another computer, of course. I've probably got that on my hard drive already because I would have referenced it at some point. What I could do with is Windows XP driver AMD Radeon HD 6450. HD 6450 drivers. It goes back to XP. Catalyst. Oh, I remember Catalyst. Onto a memory key. This is on SDE1. Come on, flush. Come on, unmount it. Tiny little file. Oh, stop it. Unplug it. Let it crash. See if that's worked. No, it hadn't copied. Let's try that again. Mount SD1. Copy the file. It's 180 meg. It's bigger than I thought it was. And unmount it and just sit and wait. Look how fast it is without the drivers. Oh. That is horrendously bad. Ah, good, it's finished now. Okay, let's plug this back in. That looks better. So either the graphics cards that I've tried are both dead, or it's just fussy. I'm going to have to get rid of that in the corner because I can't see what I'm clicking. Select Express or Custom Express. Accept. Yes. There we go. Finished. Yes, reboot. I think what it's saying in the manual about the auto setting for the shared memory, I think if it's set to auto, it will actually free up all the memory that would normally use for the onboard graphics if you have another card in there. Rather than if you set a particular amount, it'll keep that always set regardless. It's just looking healthier. Display adapters, ATI Radeon. Got that installed? I haven't, have I? Computer might be at risk. The only thing this computer is at risk of is being drop kicked out the window if it dies again. Let me just grab some software here. File to copy. It's a touch better, isn't it? You feel seasick yet? See how pitifully low this ends up then. That looks pretty respectable actually, 300 odd FPS at times. This might be a reasonable upgrade actually from the Nvidia card that was in here. What was it that was in here? Let's have a look on my asset database. GT420. GT420 versus HD6450. GT420 is a better card apparently. But the 6450 has better texture details. Not a lot in it really between the two cards. It is a classic one, this one. The Matrix demo. Bit dull at the moment. That dropped very rapidly into FPS then, didn't it? So, there we go. Does look good, doesn't it? Of course, being PCIe, I could put an RTX 4090 in here. Might be issues with the drivers though. Heart attack and the rest. Have slight mismatches in frame rates at the moment. I think the computer's running at 60 frames per second. The Extron's converting at 75 frames per second, and then I'm capturing at either 60 or 30 frames per second and then streaming at 30 frames per second. So yeah, we're getting a small amount of tearing and things going on because of that. Nearly there, 16 of 17. $24,631. That's not bad, actually. That's perfectly respectable. Of course, the main question, which is the main reason for the existence of this computer, is how does Operation Flashpoint play? Not that I'll be able to play it because I'm viewing it through OBS, so there's a certain amount of delay and stuttering going on with the display, so trying to... Oh, where's the mouse? There's the mouse. There we go.
You're in position, 6.
Two mouse
now
pointers.
Grab that truck and get out of there. Out.
That looks pretty smooth to my mind. I don't know what the keys are. There we go. Crouch. Gotta go and see A wife. How many have you got? I think that's all anyone can handle. Well, enjoy your dinner. I'm about to wrap it up now here anyway, I think. think I'm happy with how this is working. Yep, I'm happy that's working now. I can put this one to bed now. Keyboard and mouse, of course. Or attempting to use keyboard and mouse. Keyboard and mouse via OBS. It's not fun. So I've, well, I can't really say upgraded to the Radeon. It's not even really downgraded, it's sort of side graded really more than anything. Because it's not really any better or any worse than what was there originally. All that matters is it works for Flashpoint and I'm happy. Doing something with it. I dread to think what you might be doing with it. Is this the right lid for this? Or is this for the other one? No, this is the right one. Go on. There we go. Might bend in here somewhere, isn't it? Ah, that'll be it. Oops. That's better. And screws for this. Part of me is jealous, Carrot House, that you've got a proper dedicated small NAS unit. I had my eye on one for ages. I can't remember what it was called now. But it looked an absolutely amazing bit of kit. It was an ARM processor, a bit like a Raspberry Pi based sort of setup with sort of it's either 4 or 5 hot swap bays in the front of it. I say an ARM processor, not a Broadcom like the Pi used. It was something else. Pair of gigabit Ethernet ports and ran Linux on it and all that sort of thing. But it was by a startup that were doing kickstarts and things for it. But yeah, NAS. They created their first run of them, and they were absolutely amazing bits of kit. It was something like $250 for the bare bone system, and then the chip crisis struck, and they had delay after delay after delay building their second run of them. I had my name down for one of them when they would finally create them, and then they just basically turned around and said, "We're ever so sorry, we can't get the parts. It's just not feasible. We're going to have to give up." And I was gutted. It was an amazing bit of kit. It looked. I can't remember what it was called now. I don't know if there's even going to be a website for it anymore. Ah, yeah, the Cobol Helios 64. That was it. Maybe they may have started up again now. There we go. That was it. Ah, it's looking like they might have started making them again. Unless this is just... no, it doesn't look like it's changed at all since they said, sorry, we're giving up. But I've had my eyes on one of these for a long, long time. No, not many people had, unfortunately. Yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, we decided to stop operation. But that was the full bundle was $295, which I thought was an amazing price. Obviously, it hasn't got hard drives for that, but yeah, I really, really wanted one. I was so upset when they said sorry, we're discontinuing. Oh, it's even got a battery in it. It's got its own built-in UPS. But it was a beautiful, beautiful system. So yes, I am jealous that you've got a proper NAS. I've just got my i5 in the corner there, acting as a NAS and other things. Maybe they'll get some funding and start up again. Would be nice, but unlikely. Right, that's that computer fixed and working again. Well, I remember the lighting seemed okay when I was watching it, but I was watching it on my phone, so I remember I must take the software for the Palm out of this computer. I had it in. And then I shall archive that. Right. I don't remember anything wrong with the audio other than your normal quality problems that you seem to have with them. What are you using for your audio on your videos? What microphone setup have you got? Right. Going into what? Yeah, they are nice. I could do with one or two of those. I do find the audio on your videos, I don't know if it's the compression or what you're connecting your microphones into, or if it's the microphones, but they seem low bandwidth. It's almost like it's over a telephone almost, but not as bad as that. But all right, it does seem low, sort of not distorted, but lacking in possibly the bottom end. I think maybe lacking in bottom end, but it just seems almost like it's over a telephone. But maybe that's the fault of your camera that's doing it, or maybe I don't know. It's hard to describe really, but it's perfectly listen to a bubble, but it doesn't, or maybe it's YouTube that's doing it. It's just lacking the high fidelity quality that you get used to. But I mean, I do all my audio at 48 kilobit, sorry, 48 kilohertz, and I don't know what this streaming one is doing, but when I'm doing video, it's usually uploaded as AAC at 320 kilobits per second. Are we settings? What am I doing? I'm currently at 160 kilobits per second audio bit rate by the looks of things. I think. And it might just be that the camera is recording it and adding compression to it or something, so it's boosting the wrong frequencies a bit or clipping it in places. But it's not something you'd notice just sort of sat watching it on an ordinary sort of telly, or sat watching it on your phone. But it was when I had my my Raycon earbuds in, I could sort of hear that it was AC 192. I mean, that should be perfectly fine. 44.1 should be okay. Yeah. No, that should be okay. Unless it's the way your camera's doing the recording of it, perhaps. Um, I don't know. I'll grab one of your videos at some point and do a bit of audio analysis on it and see. It may well be. It may be just compressing it all and messing it all up. You never know with YouTube. They like to do stupid things like that. And normally I've got a it depends what I'm doing. If I'm doing sort of voiceover, then I use my main microphone, which goes straight into the computer, and then I'm recording that as a separate audio track. For this, I've actually got a Tascam digital recorder, which is acting as a sound card. But I use that as an actual digital audio recorder at times for doing video work, rather than relying on sort of cameras recording it or anything like that. Um, I don't know. I'll download one of your videos and do a bit of audio analysis on it and see what I can come up with on it. See if it's, but it's hard to describe how it sounds. It's perfectly good. It's perfectly serviceable, but it just has this sort of, I say it's almost like it's over a telephone or on a low quality microphone. So I don't know. Maybe yeah. Maybe just a bit of EQ work on it would help it, but I don't know. I'll have a play with one of your videos. Anyway, it's 10 o'clock now, so I really need to be packing up and calling it a night. Where are we? Maybe it is, yes. It's the sound of all the snow and the moose. Right, well, I'm going to call it a night now. I think we've had a reasonable amount of success there today. We've had some fun toys to play with. It would be nice if I could get this battery working in here. But I've got no charge still now. It's been charging all the time we've been on stream, so absolutely nothing there. So I think that's going to have a replacement battery in it at some point. Yeah, in playing with that, I found the computer I was going to use it with didn't work, so fixed that. Yay! Simple capacitor swap. And just fun and games all round, really. So, yeah. Suggestions for what I might do on Monday. I have no idea what I'll do. Who knows? See what mood takes me. Oh, hang on, I forgot one thing I forgot to do. Can't run the outro yet, can I? Because I've not updated something that needs updating. Copy this over to the other computer. Hopefully that'll work. Hey, there we go. I forgot to run my update script. Okay, well, thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this, you might want to turn on notifications and follow me. If I can get another 15 followers, I'll become an affiliate and be able to do fun things. So you might like to follow me. Find me on Discord, on YouTube, and if you really love me, you might like to subscribe to me on Patreon, where you will get your name in this scroller down the bottom here, just like... Here it comes. Second time round. My first Patreon subscriber, the Retro Recall. Thank you. Right, well, I'm going to go and make myself a cup of tea, and I shall see you all on Monday for some more fun and games doing who knows what.